And we're back. Here for the very last review video, at least for the regions. Um, this is the very last region we have to do. If any of you missed the other regions or are interested, I have a playlist on my channel full of all the other regions. We went over last video that I did not play too terribly much with the Shadow Isles, so take my interpretations with a grain of salt. I did play some. I didn't just completely skip it, and I played against it a lot, so I feel like I'm going to know what I'm talking about for the most part. But then again, I may just be completely wrong. We're going to start with Fading Memories. 0 mana, burst spell. Pick a follower, create an ephemeral copy of it in hand. I don't think we went too much over ephemeral in the other videos. I mean, there are some ephemeral cards, but ephemeral, in case anyone doesn't know, when you play an ephemeral card, it will die/disappear at the end of its strike/attack, or at the end of the round. No matter what, as long as it has ephemeral, that's going to happen. So, you may think, wow, that's a big downside. There's a lot of synergistic cards with ephemeral within the Shadow Isles and some within the other regions. So this card, 0 mana, create a copy, pretty much, for most decks at least. And some cards you actually want to die, which we'll get over later. So this card's pretty decent. Ravenous Butcher, 0 mana, 3/2. To play me, kill an ally. This card's pretty good. There are very specific cards which either when you play them they give you a little tiny 1/1, or when they die something summons, or you want them to die so they come back stronger. This card does that, so very good. Oblivious Islander, 1 mana, 2/1. Play, grant an ally in hand ephemeral and reduce its cost by 1. Can be good in the ephemeral decks. I played against it a few times. Lots of Hecarim, lots of Zed, lots of Shark, who we'll get into later. Can be very good, but in most decks, probably not too good. Sinister Poro. Again, more Poro cards. 1 mana, 1/1. Fearsome. That's about it. You basically use every Poro card in the Poro deck for the keyword. You don't really play this because it's a 1 mana, 1/1. You play it for the keyword, so you can combine it with the Heart of the Fluffed card from the Freljord. So all in all, it's a Poro. Mark of the Isles. 1 mana burst spell. Grant an ally +3/+3 and ephemeral. Could be good. Even a 1 mana +3/+3 is pretty good. If your card was going to die anyways, and you like set it up to block, you can at least attempt to trade it away with this card in the worst case scenario. So yeah, it's pretty good. Hapless Aristocrat. 1 mana, 1/1. Last breath, summon a Spiderling. So 1 mana, 1/1. When it dies, you get another 1 mana, 1/1. All around, pretty good. Gives you stuff to stick on board, so you can either kill it with other cards or for synergistic regions, or just start accumulating a board. Crawling Sensation. 1 mana slow spell. If an ally died this round, summon 2 Spiderlings. Again, more self-kill synergy. Summoning 2 Spiderlings for 1 mana can be pretty valuable, but I feel like there's better cards that you would just rather have than this card. This card's not terrible, but it's not good enough, if that makes sense. So I would pass on this card in most cases. So yeah, it's maybe with the least. Absorb Soul, 1 mana burst spell, drain 4 from an ally unit. So draining is healing your Nexus. You deal damage to something, and then your Nexus heals for that amount. So this is a 1 mana deal 4 to an ally, basically kill an ally, and heal for 4. You may think, wow, I'm sacrificing my ally to heal. You have to remember, this is the Shadow Isles. There's lots of self-kill synergy. Specific with the card The Undying, who we will get to. This card's actually very good. Warden's Prey. 1 mana 1/1. Last breath. Drain 1 from the enemy Nexus. There's better one mana cards. The card's not bad, but you just have way more options for 1 mana. No matter what region you're mixing the Shadow Isles with, there are better options. So, mediocre. Arachnoid Horror. 2 mana 3/2. Gets decent stats. Arachnoid Horror. I just read the name again. Holy. Fearsome. It's a spider. That's good. Fearsome in the very, very early game is pretty good. If they don't play a 2 mana 3 attack minion, this ain't getting blocked. So, it's alright. Shark Chariot. Okay. This card's nutty. This card gets disgusting real quick. It's a 2 mana 3/1, can't block, and ephemeral. When an ephemeral ally attacks, revive me attacking. So any other time you play an ephemeral ally and you send them in to attack, the shark will appear. And you can have 3 sharks in your deck. So, for example, if you play just a normal ephemeral ally, doesn't matter who it is. It could be an ally that summons an ephemeral ally, like Zed. When you attack with him, you will just get 3 extra 3/1s with ephemeral if you have lost 3 sharks this game. That is disgusting. That is absolutely brutal for rush downing. This card was played a lot. It's one of the better cards in the Shadow Isles as a whole. This card is very good. Elise. 2 mana 2/3. Attack, summon an attacking spiderling, and Elise has Fearsome. She levels up once you have 3+ fighters on the field, and it's the start of the round. When she levels up, she becomes a 2 mana 4/3 with Fearsome and Challenger, and other spider allies have Challenger and Fearsome. So if you get Elise leveled up early, and we're talking early, like turn 3, turn 4, and they don't have anything with 2 or more attack, they're going to get just controlled the heck out of. Because every spiderling is going to be able to choose who attacks it. They're all going to have Fearsome, so even if you wanted to block, you can't. Really, sometimes. Depends if your power level is higher than 3. Or 3 or more. So, Elise can definitely do its job well. It's not like a game winner. You're never just going to straight out win the game because you got Elise leveled up, but it definitely swings the game in your favor. So Elise is pretty good. Soul Shepherd. 2 mana 2/3. When you summon an ephemeral ally, grant it +1/+1. This also works with the reviving shark that we went over. So every time you attack with an ephemeral ally, they will get +1/+1. It would be a 4/2 shark instead of a 3/1 shark. And you could have 3 of them potentially when you attack. It gets disgusting. This card's definitely pretty good. Cursed Keeper. 2 mana 1/1. Last breath, summon an escaped abomination, and the card can't block. So this is basically, I'm going to attack with this every single turn until you end up killing it. Or I'm going to end up killing it myself with my self-killing cards. And then get an escaped abomination, which is a 2 mana 4/4. So 2 mana 1/1. When it dies, summon a 4/4. Pretty good. It's definitely played a lot. It's definitely very good because you can self-kill this very easily. All in all, just a great card. Haunted Relic. 2 mana slow spell, summon 3 Unleashed Spirits, and Unleashed Spirits are just 1/1s with Ephemeral. Could be good. If you remember that the card we just went over, when you summon an Ephemeral ally, grant it +1/+1. So these would all be 2/2s. So 2 mana to summon 3 2/2s that just die at the end of the turn. Not bad. There's better cards for sure, but if you're playing an Ephemeral deck, you're going to run out of stuff to put in. So this deck is, or this, not deck, the card is very good. Vile Feast. 2 mana fast spell, drain 1 from a unit to summon a Spiderling. Very good. It's basically pick off an enemy that's just barely hanging on, or something that has 1 health anyways, and give yourself a 1/1. Not bad. 1/1 for 1 mana. Take 1 mana off. Vile Feast becomes a 1 mana, deal 1 to a unit, and there's already a card like that. So, very good. Mistwraith. 2 mana 2/2 with Fearsome. When I'm summoned, grant other Mistwraiths everywhere +1 attack. I don't think the card's very good. Just having 2 health, no matter what, how many Mistwraiths you play, it's always going to have 2 health, no matter what. So I just think this card is bad, just in general. Feels bad, man. Glimpse Beyond. 2 mana burst spell. Kill an ally, draw 2. Phenomenal. The amount of things you actually want to die, or things that might die anyways with Ephemeral, being able to just kill it yourself and then draw 2 is absurd. Drawing 2 is the equivalent of 4 mana in my mind. And so killing something that was gonna die anyways, or killing something that benefits you, like the Undying, who we'll go over, is just absurd value. This card is absolutely super, super good. 5 out of 5. Stirred Spirits. 2 mana 3/2. Support, grant my supported ally +2 attack and Ephemeral. Could be good. Again, more Ephemeral stuff. So, if that's the deck you're playing, you're probably going to want one of these. And 2 mana 3/2 itself is not bad. Black Spear. 2 mana spell, fast. If an ally died this round, deal 3 damage to an enemy unit. It's a targeted deal 3 to an enemy. Pretty good. It says enemy unit, so you can't use it on the Nexus. But if you have a bunch of little spiderlings, one dies, boom, 2 mana, deal 3 to an enemy unit. Very good. Callista. So I actually play with Callista probably the most out of any of the cards in the Shadow Isles. She's pretty good. She definitely has some downsides, but she's pretty good. 3 mana 4/2. Play. I bond with an ally. It takes all damage for me. So Callista has some big brain things going in with deciding who's blocking what in what order. Because if you have Callista's bonded ally block before her and it dies, and then Callista battles, her supported ally will not take the damage for her because the supported ally is dead. So there's some interesting things you have to make sure of when you're playing Callista. And once she's seen 3 allies die, she levels up to a 5/3. Play, I bond with an ally. It takes all damage from me and attack, revive that ally attacking, and reforge our bond. So I played Callista with a Garen, and it was great. Garen was super hard to get rid of. If you killed Garen or tried to kill Callista, Garen would take the damage. Garen would just regen back to full if you didn't manage to kill him. If you did kill him, next turn when I attack with Callista, I'm just going to get Garen back. So, super, super, super good. Mist's Call. 3 mana, fast spell. Revive a random ally that died this round. So, I tried messing around with this. I didn't have much success. 2 days go by, and then I see a guy playing some weird, control-y, awkward, like some deck I've never seen before. But it wasn't bad deck, just some deck I've never seen before. And then he played a really annoying backline card. I forgot what it was, but I was like, that thing needs to die. And I finally managed to kill it after like 2 turns, and then he plays Missed Call and brings me back, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it is. Missed Call can definitely be very, very good, depending on what deck you're playing. But this card might be slept on a little bit, honestly. I think with that one guy I played with, he had it figured out. This card was game swinging. It was almost a game winner when it got played correctly. It doesn't look like it's going to be the greatest thing known to mankind, but if the thing making your deck work dies, most of the time you're like, well, I gotta go get another one. Say a Fiora, for example. If your Fiora dies, you're like, well, that sucked. Play Missed Call, boom, it's back. You don't have to go get another one. So, super good. Iron Harbinger. 3 mana 2/4, decent stats. Fearsome, pretty good keyword. Attack, grant me +1 for each other ephemeral ally. Can be busted if you remember the sharks. So, if you have just one shark that died this game, and you have an ephemeral ally and this card would just be a 3 mana 4/4 with Fearsome. Pretty good. So, all in all, pretty solid card. The Undying. This card's so obnoxious. This is the card that comes to mind when I went over Silence in the Demacian, or Purify in the Demacian video. Just, I want to purify this thing so bad, but this is like the only card in the game that I really, honestly, just really, really want to purify. So, 3 mana 2/2. Can't block. Last Breath, revive me at the start of the round and grant me +1/+1 for each time that I've died. So they will just send this thing in every time it's their round to attack. And if you block it and you kill it, it's just going to come back stronger every single time. I think I saw this get to a 5/5 before. Nothing really higher than that, but a 5/5 that's never ending onslaught is brutal. This card can definitely just get very, very annoying. The amount of chip damage this thing just sends in because the enemy doesn't want to block it is absurd. It definitely adds up. So this card is phenomenal. And you can use cards that we went over, like the 2 mana kill an ally, draw 2 cards, on this to just make it come back stronger. So, it's just phenomenal card. Darkwater Scourge, 3 mana 5/5, ephemeral, and lifesteal. Very good. Just a 3 mana 5/5 with lifesteal. Just the lifesteal stat of healing 5 when this card is going to be played is super good. Ephemeral makes it die at the end of the turn, but there's cards to get ephemeral off your cards. All in all, pretty good card. This with Deathmark, I'm pretty sure the card's called, is super good. Frenzied Skitterer. 3 mana 3/3 spider with Fearsome. When I'm summoned, give other allied spiders +1 attack this round, and enemies -1 attack this round. Pretty good, especially for an Elise deck. Very good, because most spiders only have 1 health, so if you reduce a 1 attack enemy to 0, that helps out a lot. So, all in all, pretty good card. I do like how this card is like reddish in the background compared to most of the Shadow Isles cards, who are like, you know, threshy, bluish, green, huey, light. So, pretty good. Splinter's Soul, 3 mana slow spell. Summon an exact copy of an ally. It's ephemeral and 1/1. So this is like a mini Dawn and Dusk combo piece in my mind, because Dawn and Dusk, who we went over in the Ionian video, it's a 6 mana slow spell that summons 2 exact copies of an ally but gives them ephemeral. So obviously Dawn and Dusk is better. It's not a 1/1. But sometimes you Dawn and Dusk things just wanting to have more of the effect that that card has, not because you want to attack with them. Say with a Karma, right? Uh, Enlightened Karma casts all spells twice. So if you use this on Enlightened Karma, this itself would be cast twice. So you would get 2 exact copies of Karma who are enlightened, and then would have 3 copies of Enlightened Karma who will each cast a spell twice. Then cast a Mystic Shot, for example, to the Nexus. 2 becomes 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So that 1 Mystic Shot just turned into 12 damage. So, pretty good. Onslaught of Shadows. 3 mana slow spell. Summon 2 Spectral Riders. And Spectral Riders are 2 mana 3/2s with Ephemeral. So this is a 3 mana summon 2 3/2s with Ephemeral. Not bad. The Ephemeral part is what you're going to build this for. Just by in a random deck, this probably is not very good. So, Ephemeral decks, of course, it's going to be solid. Not Ephemeral decks are going to be pretty trash. Flesh Offerings. 3 mana slow spell. If 3 allies have died this round, summon Vile Maw. And Vile Maw is a 3 mana 6/6 with Fearsome. So Vile Maw itself is good. Having to have 3 allies die this round is not. This comes in the default deck, I'm pretty sure you get in the preview patch. Not sure if you'll get it again, the same deck, but a lot of people played this card, and I don't think it's as good as people think. Having 3 of your things die is tragic in most cases. Yes, you have self-kill mechanics, right? Usually you don't have 3 in one turn. If you have 3 in one turn, by all means, Flesh Offering's phenomenal, but most of the time, if 3 of your things die, it wasn't by choice. So, I think this card's okay. It's not super good, like I think most people might think it is, but definitely okay. Phantom Prankster. A lot of people played this card. The 3 mana 0/3, so, bad stats for 3 mana. But when another ally dies, deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. This is just chip damage galore. If you have 2 of these on the field, every time an ally dies, deal 2 to the enemy Nexus. And that could be pretty good with the amount of self-killing going on. And the cheap spider minions that will just most likely die anyways. Very good card. Scribe of Sorrows. 3 mana 2/3. When I'm summoned, create a copy of an ally that died this game. Wait, create a copy in hand of an ally that died this game. Sorry. Don't think it's very good. Definitely creating a copy of an ally that died this game in hand is good, but I think this is just a random copy. If this isn't a random copy, by all means, this card's like super good. But I don't think there's very many targeted, I want this back kind of cards in the game, if any at all. I don't think there's any. So I'm pretty sure this is just a random copy of an ally that died this game. So if it was targeted, it would be just busted. Ancient Crocolith. 4 mana 7/7 to play me, kill 2 allies. Can definitely be good. If you have 2 Undyings on the field, this is just nothing but value most of the time. Pretty good. It's a little pricey for 4 mana killing 2 of your allies, because most of the time there's not going to be 2 allies you just want to die. But sometimes there are. And in those sometimes, this card's just flat out super good. Definitely a solid card. Wraithcaller. 4 mana 4/2. Allegiance, summon a Mist Wraith. We went over Allegiance in previous videos, so I won't go over it again. I'm pretty sure I've gone over it in every single video. A Mist Wraith is the 2 mana 2/2 card we went over earlier with Fearsome that summons, when it's summoned, grant other Mist Wraiths everywhere +1 attack. So, it's not very good. Yes, for the Myth Race, because Myth Race themselves aren't very good, but 4 mana 4/2 is a lower end of stats. It needs the Allegiance proc to even get the Mist Wraith, and the Mist Wraith isn't even very good. So, I don't like it. Chronicler of Ruin. 4 mana 3/3. Play, kill an ally, then revive it. Can be very, very good. Again, with the Undying, who we'll be bringing up a lot this review. Every time you kill it, it just comes back stronger. So there's no downside in playing this. It could even be a buff sometimes. So, pretty good. The box. I think this card slept on a little bit. This card is definitely very, very good. That's a 4 mana burst spell. Can't be stopped. Enemies have -1 attack this round. Great. When an enemy summons a unit this round, deal 4 damage to it. If you play this in the early-ish of games, or even in the late game sometimes, this just kills the enemy. Like, they just can't play a card sometimes. If they don't have a card in hand with more than 4 health, it will just die when they play it. This card's often forgot about too. If you play it and the round goes on for a little bit, they might just forget you played this card. There is a little animation on the Nexus telling everyone in the game that this card is active, but I've forgotten about it. I've seen other people forget about it. The card's phenomenal. I think this card's definitely slept on. I think people should play this card more. Ethereal Remitter. 5 mana 4/3. Could be better stats. Play, kill an ally to summon a random follower from any faction that costs 2 more. Could be very, very good. Could be very, very bad. You know, goes with randomness all the time. You might get a follower that's just fantastic. If you killed the Undying, you might get that 4 mana 7/7 that we just talked about earlier. You might just get the 4 mana, 1/1 of mediocrity from somewhere. I don't think there is a 4 mana 1/1, but yeah, you just might get a really bad card. But most of the time, killing an ally is beneficial to you. If you're playing a deck with this card, it better be beneficial to you in most cases. So, pretty good card. Possession. 5 mana slow spell. Steal an enemy follower this round. So this is Shadow Madness from Hearthstone, pretty much. It costs a little bit more, and it could be any follower instead of just a follower with 3 or less attack. So definitely okay. Can definitely work out. I think the main difference is that in Shadow Madness and Hearthstone, you're pretty much guaranteed to attack what you want, and here you're not. So if you just steal their minion and they don't want it to die, they just won't block it. So it's on the lower end of okay. It's almost mediocre in my book. It's eh. Brood Awakening. 5 mana slow spell, summon 3 spiderlings, then grant spider allies +1 attack. Pretty decent in an Elise deck. That's about all I gotta say about it. If you're playing this on turn 5 because you have nothing on the board, good luck. You just summon 3 2-attack 1/1s, and 1 health is not very, very good. So yeah, it's okay. Tortured Prodigy. 5 mana 3/4. When an ally dies, refill your spell mana. I don't like it. I think there's better cards. For 5 mana 3/4 is like kind of hurts me a little bit. When an ally dies, refill your spell mana. Could be super, super good. If you have a bunch of 1/1s and you just sent them in and they all died, you got your spell mana refilled. But the downside is if you're attacking to try to kill your own minions and all of them die at the same time, you can't go over 3 spell mana. So you'd have to attack, have 1 die, use your spell mana, kill something else with a spell or a minion, and then use that spell mana to do it. It's just pretty awkward to use. So it's an okay card. It could definitely work very, very well, but meh. Thresh. 5 mana 3/5. Pretty great stats with Challenger. Very good ability. When an enemy dies, heal me for 1. Pretty good. Pretty annoying because a lot of people forget that he's going to heal for 1, so they don't calculate for that. And once he's seen 3 enemies die, he levels up to a 5-mana 4/6 with Challenger. When an enemy dies, heal me for 1. The first time I attack this game, summon an attacking champion from your deck or hand. That could be very good. You can just straight up summon like a Tryndamere, for example. Boom, I have a Tryndamere now. Have fun. Cost me nothing to play, you know. And his spell is the box, who we went over earlier. So all in all, Thresh is just really, really solid. No downside to Thresh. So yeah, I think he's great. I think he's a little underplayed. Grasp of the Undying. 5 mana, fast spell, drain 3 from an enemy unit. So this is basically deal 3 to an enemy unit and heal yourself for 3 combined, because that's what drain is. But 5 mana is a little pricey, in my opinion. It's definitely good. It's definitely playable. But for 5 mana, it kind of hurts a little bit, thinking of all the other cards that do 3 damage that are way cheaper. Yes, this heals you for 3, but most of the time when I'm killing something, I'm not looking to be healed. I'm looking to get that thing off the board. So it's definitely a good card, but you know, it's okay. Withering Wail. 5 mana fast spell, drain 1 from all enemy units. Can be very good. If they have 6 units, this is a 5 mana, deal 1 to everything, heal for 6. Versus a lot of like Elise, Spiderling, Swarm things. This will just kill most things that have 1 health minions. So, like, some decks just fall apart versus this. And it heals you for potentially 6. So, this card's pretty good. Soul Gorger. 6 mana, 3/7 with lifesteal. There's better options. That's all I have to say about that. The Rekindler. 6 mana, 5/5. Okay stats for 6 mana. When I'm summoned, revive an ally aligned. Wait. When I'm summoned, revive a random allied champion with the highest power. So this would be a like a Tryndamere or a Garen, something you want with a little bit of higher power. Because if you're playing like Ezreal or something, and that's your highest power champion, good luck. But you know, yeah, it's okay. 6 mana is too pricey, I think, but definitely has decent stats. Atrocity. 6 mana fast spell. Kill an ally to deal damage equal to its power to anything. I saw people use this when they're playing like smorky rushdown decks and you start getting low, and then they play one big threat, and you're like, ah, I can deal with that big threat. You go to kill it, and then they chain your kill spell with Atrocity to kill their unit to just deal like 7 to your Nexus, and then you lose. So this card's definitely good. Not played often, but it's good. And when it's used, you think, oh, yeah, that's a card. I forgot that card existed, kind of thing. So good. Hecarim. Lots of people playing Hecarim. 6 mana, 4/6 Overwhelm. When he attacks, create 2 Spectral Riders, which are 2 mana, 3/2s with Ephemeral. And you've attacked with 8+ Ephemeral allies this game, he levels up. And when he levels up, he becomes a 6 mana, 5/7. And Ephemeral allies have +2 attack. Summon 2 Spectral Riders. So, very, very strong in the Ephemeral deck. I saw a lot of people playing Hecarim along with Zed. For more ephemeral shenanigans and buffing of attacks and rush down. He can definitely get going. And he's definitely not easy to remove without specific hard removal cards. So, very good. Vengeance. 7 mana fast spell. Kill a unit. Need I say more? It's pretty good. It's a get out of here, your thing's dead card. Played a lot. especially with the Freljord in the big control decks. Definitely very good. Raza the Sunderer, 7 mana, 7/5, fearsome. Kill the 2 lowest power enemies if an ally died this round. This card has made me just instantly surrender. You start battling, you start getting back in the game, you get like 2 5/5s on board, they have a bunch of little stuff. They kill one of their own allies, and then they play this, and then if you only have 2 cards, those 2 cards just die. Card's very, very, very good. It's game winning, game swinging at times. So yeah, it's a very good card. Spectral Matron, 8 mana, 6/6. Could be better stats. Fearsome, very decent keyword. Play, pick an ally in hand, summon an exact copy of it. It's ephemeral. Could definitely bring out like some big things to just swing the game. So potentially very good. Commander Ledros, 8 mana, 8/6 with fearsome. Play, cut the enemy Nexus's health in half. Last breath, return me to the hand. So this card's going to be played and just cut your health in half every time if the enemy is playing it. So definitely a very similar effect to Alexstrasza from Hearthstone. Can definitely fit into a lot of decks. It is pricey, but the effect is very good. Potentially deal 10 damage to Nexus and then return me to hand. The Ruination, 9 mana slow spell, kill all units. A lot of people played this as well. If you don't have a way to stop it, well, feels bad, man. So all your things are dead. All his things are dead. All your friends are dead. So rip. Scuttlegeist, 10 mana 5/5, reduce my cost by 1 for each ally that died this game. It's definitely okay. It's not super good. It doesn't have a keyword or anything. This just ends up being a normal 5/5. So, The Harrowing, 10 mana slow spell, revive the 6 highest power units that died this game and grant them ephemeral. So if you play the Ruination on turn 9, everything dies. The turn passes. It's your turn to attack. You play the Harrowing on turn 10. You just revive 6 of the highest power units that died this game, and they're on your side of the field. They get to either try to kill everything with another Ruination, try to pick some things off, play one blocker, or take it all to the face. So, very, very good card in combination with the Ruination and other big minions and decks. So, definitely solid. All in all, I think the Shadow Isles has like 2 identities. It has the kill myself, swarmy kind of identity, and it also has the very control-oriented theme to it, with like Black Spear, Glimpse Beyond, the Ruination, the Box, Vengeance, all these control-heavy targeted removal spells. So definitely a very solid region. Definitely very strong. Paired well with a lot of other regions. Paired well with Freljord, paired well with Noxious, paired well with basically anything. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you have any suggestions or comments, just leave them down below. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow.